What's going on, everyone? This is Dustin Stelzer from Journey to Master, and in today's episode we're going to talk about the economy. Kind of. Not a fucking economist, but we're going to talk about layoffs and the stability of the trade that we do. So recently on a lot of different videos, I've gotten a lot of comments from people that are thinking about becoming an electrician and getting into this trade, and they're worried about like the stability and being able to maintain work and not get laid off. So one of them asked me to do a video, and that's what this video is about. So stay tuned. Alright, so layoffs and the stability of the electrical trade. In my opinion, not even in my opinion, in my experience from what I've seen over the years, the electrical trade by nature is a very strong trade to be a part of. Anytime you're in a trade where you have like a hand skill or like a technical skill that nobody else can do, and you're not just working for a big corporation where there's a lot of other people's metrics to display, you're not as replaceable. So like, you know, if you work for a big corporate company and you have a desk job, a lot of people can do desk jobs. A lot of those you don't have to have a degree for, or you don't have to have a lot of experience for, like answering phones and setting appointments for people. You're pretty replaceable. And a lot of big companies, you have to have a degree. Doesn't matter what the degree is, but you have to have a degree just to get in the door, even just to be a damn receptionist. Or else, you know, you could start like a bottom-feeding wage. You're not going to get paid very well, but you can get paid higher because you have a degree, even in a kind of lower-end entry job. With the trades, though, you know something that no matter what the economy does, you're always going to be needed. So let's look at, 2009, the whole economy, everything went to shit. Not really in Austin, Texas, kind of, fortunately, we don't ever have that high of unemployment rates. And when the rest of the economies, in different states are going down, or the U.S. economy is going down, Austin, Texas, we feel it, but we really don't feel it that bad. So I'm fortunate enough to live in a place where I don't know struggle and strife with this trade. But I do know there are places out there, like big cities like Detroit. Detroit went completely under. So since nobody's spending money, I'm sure the electricians and the plumbers and the AC guys out there don't have as much work. I'm sure that there's still businesses and government buildings and stuff like that still all need those things, and so there are still jobs there. But what I recommend is don't be afraid to get into the electrical trade because of like you're afraid of stability or not having a job or like layoffs or anything, because that shit happens to everyone across the board. The only plus side that we have as tradesmen is that we know an actual tactile skill that is needed for life, for people to function and live. Somebody answering phones somewhere, or like being an account executive for sales. If that business goes out of, if that business goes out of business, it's not going to affect people's lives. I mean, the people that are losing their jobs, yeah, it's going to affect their lives. But like, say if Target goes out of business, the rest of the world isn't gonna give a shit. Like I don't just need a fucking t-shirt for $7.99. I'll go to Walmart. If Walmart and Target and JCPenney go under, like, it's not that big of a deal. There's so many options out there for wearing clothes, and like, wearing clothes is not like such a huge thing as a part of our living that we're uncomfortable with. You just wear old shit that you've got. You don't have to go buy new clothes. Anyways, being an electrician, being a plumber, and being an AC guy, people will always need electricity. It doesn't matter how bad the economy is. You can work your rates down and in a really bad time but still make money. People will always need electricity. They can't fucking live. They can't eat food because their refrigerator's not staying cold. They can't get on the internet and do anything because they don't have power to their house. If the AC goes out, for AC guys, people are going to be really fucking uncomfortable, especially like Texas right now. It's 100 fucking degrees outside, no cloud cover at all, and it's humid as shit. So people can't live like that every day unless they've got like 5 ceiling fans, or they've been living in Texas for 20 years without AC. Then they can survive, but it's a life need. Electricity is a life need. Air conditioning and heating when it's cold as fucking balls in Minnesota, People need heat, man. So like, it doesn't matter what the fucking economy is doing. People still need that for their life. And plumbing's another one. People have to have plumbing. Their entire house is not going to function without running water, without, you know, like drainage, sewage. Like, plumbing is an essential fucking need. And so I wouldn't worry too much about trying to get into one of these trades, because being one of these trades, there's such a high need for you at all times that even when shit hits the fan, you're still going to have a job somewhere. Now, sure, you may work for a company that whatever they're doing, they get slow and they can't afford to pay so many guys, so they'll lay, you know, a bunch of guys off. But there's so many other companies out there that you can get picked up again. Now, the tiny disclaimer of like danger that I will say is, being an apprentice, because you don't know that much, you're not going to get paid that much, and you are replaceable. There's 10 other people out there that also don't know what the fuck they're doing that are going to need jobs. So it's up to you to show yourself and show up. You know, when you get to a job, prove your worth on a constant basis. Like, be worth something so that you're not replaceable. You know, when I was working at Dell, something I don't talk about a lot is why I got laid off. You know, it's like 16,000 people got laid off at the same time, but it was people with whatever their numbers were, you know, the people that were replaceable. I worked at Dell. I made a lot of money for myself. I really didn't give a shit back to the company at all. I didn't give into the company. I mean, I was selling computers, so they were making money and I was making money. But I didn't do the whole corporate kiss up fucking ladder, you know, dealing with ambiguity and, you know, all the corporate bullshit. I didn't fucking care. I was fresh out of the Marine Corps. I had only ever worked like construction jobs and worked with my hands, so every other word I was saying fuck, you know, like I don't do well in a really corporate environment. And so it got to be to the point where they were playing some fucking number tricks with our numbers so we wouldn't get paid, but they still would, and like I just got fucking tired of it. So I had a loud mouth about it. So I got to be one of the people that let go, because I wasn't the ball team or the team player for the, you know, the corporate ball game. But if you care about your job, then, you know, fucking climb ladders and suck up to people and do whatever you have to do. But what I'm saying about electricians is, once you start apprenticing at a company, work your fucking ass off. When people go take cigarette breaks, keep working. Like, I didn't smoke cigarettes, you know, I do now, but I didn't smoke cigarettes when I was a helper. Everyone else did. They would take breaks and go smoke cigarettes, and I would stay in there working constantly. Never took a break. And I would always work extra hours, any hours that were needed of me. I worked my fucking ass off. I didn't just stand around and wait to be told something. I'd be like, boom, 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 you know, do everything, do it really well, and then I'd go ask a dude, hey, what else you got for me? Give me something else, you know. And once I was in it for like 3 or 4 months, I started asking the guys, like, hey, can you let me do a little bit, like, I don't know, cooler shit? Like, let me mess around with the panel and put breakers in and see how this works. And then after I got good at that, I was like, okay, let me try to mess with services. I really want to learn, like, how do these wire sizes matter and all this stuff. So I was pushing the guys that I worked under to make me a better apprentice electrician, and to anticipate need better and try to figure out what the guys around you need next. So instead of them having to tell you what to do, you are watching them go up the ladder, and you know they're hammering something in, and they might need staples. They might need you to take the wire and like wind a little bit more wire out so they don't have to get back down off the ladder. Like, make yourself worthwhile and make yourself so you're not replaceable, because I guarantee there's going to be like 5 other apprentice electricians there. There might be 1 other person like that. There's going to be 2 guys that are just lazy as fuck and don't care. And there's going to be 1 guy that's in the middle that, you know, may be replaceable, maybe not. But if you make yourself one of the top apprentices because you're constantly hustling every single day, and the guys around you think that about you, not that you're trying to say, oh, I'm going to be the best, I'm going to be the best. But if they all watch you and it comes time for layoffs, the boss is gonna talk to the other guys and be like, all right, we're gonna have to let some of these guys go, you know, like, what do you think of so-and-so, and what do you think of so-and-so? And if all of them have your back because you're a fucking hustler, your job's gonna be fine. So anyways, that's my 2 cents about, you know, layoffs. I wouldn't worry about it. You know, there are places out there where you live out in the middle of fucking bumfucked Egypt, and you have to drive 2 hours into work just so you can get to like a metropolis kind of area to work, because there's no work out in the sticks. So if you live somewhere like that, then yeah, again, an area like that, you're going to be struggling for work. But the metropolis, the cities have a lot more opportunity. There's a lot of different types of work. Out in the sticks, you're just going to have people's houses. There's no businesses out there. There's no, there might be some like farms or ranches or something like that, but you're not going to be very good, and you're not going to be needed very often, especially when the economy tanks. So you kind of need to work in like a metro area, something that's got, a couple 100,000 people living in it, and got some big buildings and a downtown. Austin, Texas is a great place to work, man. There's like, I don't know how many fucking electrical companies out there. There's so many, and we can't keep up. Like I'm consistently 3 to 4 weeks booked out, and I just have to keep pushing people away, and they can't help it. It's booming right now. But even when it's not, companies can shift what they do a little bit, knowing that these big rich people that own all these companies and big houses, they're not going to be spending their money. They're going to be trying to fix the shit that they've got, but they still need the electrician to come in and fix it. So just make yourself super valuable and spend the time building rapport with people and network, and like get to know the people that you're working for and working under. Know their first name, know their kids, know a little bit about their life story, if their mom had fucking cancer, if whatever. Because relationships with people is really the name of the game. It's really what this business is about. Anybody can be an electrician, but the guys that are sought after are the really good guys, and the guys that give a fuck about their customers. So just impress yourself, man. Remember that. Not trying to be like some fucking motivational speaker guy, but I go about life trying to be really optimistic, trying to actually give a fuck about people, help people out, but really caring about people and really trying to do the best you can are the two most fucking important things for any job out there, but especially this trade, because there's not a lot of it going on, and the guys that are doing that are busy as fucking hell. They're making money. So that's my words for today. Love y'all dudes and chicks. Had a comment recently. They're like, "Oh, all you ever talk about is dudes and you guys. Are you ever gonna hire a woman?" Fuck yeah, dude. I would hire a woman. I know some female electricians. Actually, every female electrician I've come across has had to outwork the guys and get half the respect for it. They have to bust their fucking ass while getting hit on, while getting told, like, "Oh, let me help you with those heavy materials," and they're like, "Fuck you, man. Like, treat me like a regular person, I can carry materials too. I can outwork circles around you motherfuckers." And females think a different way in this environment. Females, I feel like, can recognize a solution to a problem a lot quicker than a guy can, because there's just a way that they think that they cut through some of the bullshit. I don't know what it is, but the female electricians, maybe it's just because they have to try to be hustlers, and they have to try to like work 4 times as hard just to get half the respect for a long time. And then in every single company they work for, there's a new guy that comes to the company, and it all starts over again. They got to fucking prove themselves. And if they're just like, "Fuck you," then they're seen as a bitch. Like, it's really rough for females in this industry. But dude, I have hella fucking respect for females that choose to do this trade. So fuck yeah, I would hire a female. If I ever had one apply, I'm going to treat them just like anybody else. If they're female and they show up and they're just fucking lazy and they can't handle it, then no, it's not going to work out. But if you show up, I'm not going to make you try to outpace the guys or anything like that. I can recognize a hustler when I see one, and that's all I want. Is I want hustlers with great attitudes that want to be good at what they fucking do, and that's it. So later, motherfuckers. Have a good one. See you in the next episode.